Hello. I'm just going to give it a minute for people to jump on. Again, I just kind of did this impromptu, so we'll see how many people join for now. I've got some questions from last time that I didn't answer that we'll get to. And then I'm going to finish cleaning this dresser behind me and tell you guys a little bit about that. My original plan was to have this dresser completely cleaned by the time I jumped on the live, but it is so gross and dirty that is not going to be possible. So what I think we'll do is we'll just start cleaning it. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about it, what direction I'm going in, and then if you all have questions, jump on in, and we'll go from there. Do we have anybody on just yet? Not yet. Okay. So this dresser is probably 1970s, if I had to guess. This is from an estate sale. It does not have a maker's mark on it, so I don't know what this is. I'm hoping while I'm cleaning, I uncover one, but right now, I have no idea where this came from. It's gorgeous. It has these really beautiful cathedral doors on it that I cannot wait to see how this one turns out. Little spoiler alert, I am not going to paint this one. So that'll be a little different. Even though it would look gorgeous painted, I have a totally different idea for this. So we're gonna do that instead. But I would love to know what you guys would do with this if you had it. So let's get to cleaning it a little bit. I have my cameraman out here with me so he can help move the camera around for me, and he's going to let me know what you guys are asking in the questions, and then also remind me of some of the previous questions that people had. So we ready to go? All right. Let's start cleaning. This thing's really, really dirty, so I'll probably have to move the camera around a little bit so you can just see what I am dealing with, but it's gross on the inside. It has all these like really beautiful drawers inside here. So this is definitely like somebody's dresser before. I have no idea what the story on this one is. It was sitting in somebody's garage when we picked it up. And like I said, it came from an estate sale and they needed it gone. It didn't sell. So we went to go pick up a totally different piece. And this was sitting there in the corner and they were like, do you need more furniture? And when I saw the doors on this, I was like, yeah, absolutely, I will take this. And it came with 2 matching nightstands as well, which is like so crazy rare, right? So we definitely took those. So if you saw what is lurking on the inside, it is so very, very dirty, you guys. So dirty. So I'm using my Simple Green. It's going to help cut out any of that dirt and grime. I've already vacuumed it, and that is what is left over. So that's really, really gross. And I've changed my water out once. So I don't know what they did with this. It must have sat in a garage for a while or like a storage shed. It was not in a house. It was not in a house looking like this. And actually, what I'm using to clean these is my little scrubber brush. I know you've seen me use the bigger one on the channel quite a few times, but this one is going to get into all those little spaces. So I've got that attached to my drill. I'm pretty sure I have these linked in my description below. They came in a set of 3. So I'm going to use those. Is there a question?
Is it solid wood?
No, great question. Thank you for asking that because I was going to tell you guys that. Would you be shocked to know this is not solid wood? It is a very thin piece of laminate. It's not even good laminate on top of particle board. In the full video, which you guys are not going to see for 2 more weeks, you got 2 weeks to wait on this one. I'm going to show you around the back of this what this is made out of. And unfortunately, it's not solid wood. It's gorgeous. Can you imagine what this would be worth if it was solid wood? But it is not. So I am going to have to do my very best to make this one beautiful, considering that it's really not made of good materials. But I've got good bones to start with, so that'll be a good thing. All right, I'm going to get this thing clean. And you can see how quickly this brush like pulverizes all that junk which just means I have a lot less scrubbing to do. So the less I have to be around somebody else's dirt and grime, the better. I have my own family's dirt and grime to clean up. I don't need somebody else's. So that's why I love these, because they're really helpful. That is how quick that is. And then I'll just rinse it off the bottom. Anything else we've asked so far that you all want to know about this piece, or something else? Hop on up. So a little background about it. They gave us this piece. I mean, I bought it, but they sold it to us for $100, and that was including the nightstands. So this is a really good find. I come across great deals a lot, but this was a really great deal. So I think in the end, if I can make this one look the way I think I can, it'll probably sell for about $1,000 is my guess. Is this one will go a little bit higher. So on typical, like average for me, my dressers are usually about $800 is the starting point for them. But when you have something that is this like amazing, like you're never gonna find these doors again, right? Like this is not something I have seen in my 5 years of being a furniture flipper. I've never seen anything like this. So these are something really special. So this will sell for higher than what I usually get. I'm gonna keep the hardware. It's gonna need a refresh. I mean, it's really just dingy. So we're gonna keep the hardware, but there's no damage on this. I don't know if you guys have sort of noticed while I was cleaning, but there is absolutely nothing that I found so far that will need to be bondoed or fixed in any sense like that. So that's a really good sign. But I am really hoping that I will stumble across a maker's mark somewhere on here, because that would be really special. I mean, if this was like a Drexel or something, that would really help solidify that $1,000 selling price as well. So I really want to be on the lookout for that as I'm cleaning and sort of like getting to know what this piece is all about. At this point, I would normally take out all the drawers and clean the insides, but I don't want to do that on the live. So I think we're just going to move on to the next drawer and make sure that I've got that one really clean. And then we'll clean the top. And if we have time, I might show you on the top where I could tell where it was particle board. So let's get to, I'm going to move into the other side. I already started the filming on this for the main YouTube video. So I did all the before shots and everything before you guys jumped on. Oh, thanks. My helper's in the garage with me this afternoon.
So my question is, if I can ask a question.
Yep, you can ask a question.
I noticed back here,
yeah,
there's some spots like this.
Yeah.
Do you think it had 2 mirrors?
Yes, I think it had 2 mirrors, and I think the mirrors got lost somewhere along the way. Yeah. We don't have them, and they weren't there at the estate sale, so that's a bummer. I'm sure those were really beautiful. I mean, can you imagine? I'm sure they had something like this on them, and they were probably even maybe that shape. But those are long gone, unfortunately. Man, that would have been a really great find as well. So if you can see again just how gross this is, you guys, and again, this has already been vacuumed and none of this stuff would come up. It is just nasty. I don't know where they had this thing sitting, but hopefully it wasn't sitting in somebody's house like that, because it's really gross. I mean, I've had it for a little bit, but not enough to get that much dirt. That should be it. That should get it all. And if you're on here, feel free to say hi. Oh, that's awesome. That's great. If you're new to the channel and jumping on for the first time, I'd love to know that you joined us. If you've been here for a while, I'd love to know that you're here. So feel free to just let me know who you are. That way I can say hello back to you as well. All right, I think our insides are pretty clean. I mean, this is going to be great for somebody, right? It's got so much space on the inside. This is why, you guys, I just love to flip furniture and not send it to the trash, because there's some really beautiful pieces out there that just get tossed because they look dated or people just don't know what to do with them. So I love, love, love that we get the chance to bring these guys back to life, because it would have been a real, I mean, the next stop where this was going, if we hadn't stopped at that estate sale, was to the dump. So that would have been a tragedy. That would have been really sad. So I'm glad that we got to get it. Okay, so what I'm actually thinking, sorry, cameraman, you're gonna have to move with me. What I think we're gonna do with this one, and I get lots of questions about this now, because painted wood is kind of going away. It's not as popular as it once was. It's not completely gone, so don't get me wrong there. You're certainly going to see me paint pieces again, so don't hold that against me. But somebody's saying hi.
Hi, Care Bear. You know who it is?
No.
It's got-
Oh, my Katie girl. So yeah, so painted pieces are not going away, so don't hold me to that, but they are certainly a little less popular. Everything now is like that real wood look, whether you can make that faux or if you strip something down completely. So the way that I've been doing it lately, there's two different ways. This right here is acetone, and this is the fastest way to get through a finish. But it's dangerous. It's dangerous. So it's not my favorite way, but it is a lot cheaper. But you have to like full PPE. I have to like double up on my gloves. It eats through my nail polish in no time. And I'm really big on having my nails done. So that's a little annoying. But more than that, like I'm just more worried about long-term effects and using it a lot. But it's so quick that sometimes it's like in a pinch, that's the thing I'll go to. My second favorite thing right now is this QCS. And this is a finish remover that is non-toxic, it's eco-friendly. I've been using this for a lot of flips, and you let it do its job, and then you come back in and you like peel it all off. But it's expensive. It's a little pricey. It's about $100 for a 2-pack of this, and that's how it comes. So it's like I use it so often that it can really add up for me. If you're just doing a job here and there, it's going to be fine. I do have a coupon code for it, so please don't buy it without the coupon code. It will give you 10% off. But I have done so many projects with this now. I'm about to place another order for it, but it's just hard when you've got something that's so cheap, dangerous, versus something that's a little more costly and eco-friendly. So I've been going back and forth on my channel and in the garage as far as which one is the better one to use, because they're both great and they both have pros and cons. But that's a long way of saying that what's going to happen with this one is we're going to strip it down to whatever is underneath. I'm a little worried about this top because let me show you what's going on over here. And this is how I knew that this wasn't solid wood from the start. I don't know how well you guys can see it, but it's lifting right here. And underneath that, I can see it's all particle board. So I knew right away that this wasn't solid wood. So I have a very, very thin surface here that I'm starting with. So I've got to be careful when I'm stripping it that I don't go into whatever is underneath this, because then my whole plan for this dresser might be just out the window completely. So I'm hoping that I can strip this down, strip the finish off of it, get the finish off of these cathedral looking doors, which are so cool, because just a light wood finish on this would be absolutely beautiful. And then my plan from there is to use another thing that I've just like fallen in love with this spring and summer, which is this Minwax wood finish. And I actually like to get it in the solid color which looks really, really thick. It almost looks like paint. But for me, because it's water-based, I can take what's in here and cut it in half and make this go much, much longer. So that's typically what I'll do with these, and I'll get like twice money out of the cans because I'll just cut what's in here. And let me see if I can open this for you guys. I opened it a little bit before we started the live to show you what it looks like. I might have to go get my screwdriver, but it looks like paint, which is really weird. Hold on one second. All right. It looks like paint, but it's wood stain and it's water-based. So I like that. So there's no smell. You can use it in the house if you need to. I cut it half and half. And then that way, when I've got this down, it almost acts like, I mean, it does act like a paint wash, but it's actually considered a Minwax wood finish sort of stain. So I use this one in the color, I always forget the color I get. Rustic Oak is the color I have them mix this up with, and that's at Lowe's. So they offer over 150 colors in this that you can get. This one is my favorite because it's the closest one to the color that I'm going for. But I think like there's also like a wheat or something like that, which would be really nice too. And really what this does is just take like the orange tones out of wood and kind of level that out a little bit and give it that really beautiful light wood finish that's so in style these days. So that right now is my plan with this one, unless something goes sideways, and it totally could because I'm not dealing with solid wood. So that's what I think we're going to do on this one. Do you guys have any other questions for me before I move off of that subject? And my little helper out here will.
Katie wants you to remind her to pick some up.
Yes, I will, Katie. I will remind you, and I'll remind you what color I use. And if you try another color, I want to know what you like better, because I do have to cut that one quite a bit to get it to look like I want it to. But I like how the can will stretch really far because I get a lot of uses out of that. So you guys saw how full that can was. I've used it on 2 projects, and I haven't really even like dented it yet. So that's pretty amazing.
So Vintage Verb has a question. She has a Wagner tent like we do, but she's struggling with like tiny flecks of dust in her finishes. What do you suggest?
Oh gosh.
Or is she being too picky?
You might be being too picky, but I do know that's annoying. Are you inside or outside when you're spraying? That's one of my questions. Because if you're outside, I had another girlfriend that had that problem, and it was like dust and things that were getting in there. I know it has that extra flap on the outside of the tent. Put that flap down when you can, and especially when after you leave the project, put that flap down so nothing gets in there, and that might help. But sometimes if you're spraying outside, it's just what you're up against. Like I had a girlfriend that had that same problem, and it was like every time she sprayed, her neighbor would go out and mow the lawn or something ridiculous like that, and then it would be all over her finish. It's like, what do you do about it? There's literally nothing you could do. So it is an issue.
Inside the garage.
Inside, and you're still getting the flex.
I don't think we do.
Yeah, I can't say I've had that problem, but I do put the cover down when I'm done and I like leave that project. So
you know, one thing
maybe
that we
try
usually
that.
do is we blow out the garage floor and everything in the piece.
We do.
Before
I blow out the garage before I start a new piece. I blow out the garage as soon as I'm done sanding the piece, and then let that settle before we start the painting process, just so nothing is still flying around in the air. So maybe that'll help. Good. Everything's good. That is as far as I can get with you guys today on the live, because everything else I'm going to do is going to take a lot of time, or it's going to make a lot of noise. So I'm going to start moving on to my next steps. I'm going to keep filming, but thank you guys so much for joining and hopping on. And I know I missed a bunch of you because I heard from some people already that you weren't going to be able to make it. So if you catch this later, what time is a good time for me to jump on lives, and we'll see if we can get like a general consensus of the next time I should go on. So anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see you this Saturday. It's not going to be this project. There's actually a project behind me that is done and getting ready to be listed on Facebook Marketplace, and so you guys are going to watch that one this week. This one will be up for you guys in about 2 weeks. Hopefully, if everything goes according to plan, it's going to be up in 2 weeks. So my buddy Barry at Mad City Modern, he's about to start his live really soon. So if you love Barry, be sure to jump on over there. He's just like the coolest guy ever. So is my buddy Katie, who joined us today. So I love you guys so much. Thanks for being here. We just hit 100,000. Now we're over that by quite a bit. So that's really exciting. So thanks you guys so much for coming along for the journey. And I'm going to see you real soon.